Welcome everybody, Guts here, bringing you coverage of Transformers Universe. Today we're going to be doing a spotlight on Deadheat from the Decepticons. We're going to be covering all of his weapons, equipment, tuning specs, and his counters, and then we'll be jumping into a PvP match to see him in action. So let's go ahead and get started. First up here we got his laser rifle. This is a long-range shield damage weapon. You always want to use this weapon from as far as possible so you can kind of poke away your enemy shields before you close distance on them. And if you want to be able to close the distance on them fast while still maintaining DPS on them, that's pretty much what the S-Tech on this weapon is for. The S-Tech will slow your target while at the same time giving you a speed boost. Charging it up to a level 2 S-Tech, of course, will increase the slow amount and the movement speed boost, so I'm not sure the actual percentage increases. It's not very specific. It's not a bad idea to use the S-Tech at medium range on your target if you want to prevent them from escaping when you're closing in to do some melee damage. And it's also ideal for kiting Overclock when he's trying to slap you in the face, or Anomaly trying to get in reach of you, which you do not want, as his redirect is going to just simply destroy you when you're trying to do some burst damage. The slow, unfortunately, isn't good enough to even really catch escaping opponents in vehicle form unless you use the immobilization power core, which will turn this weapon into an amazing lockdown weapon, greater than Drive-By's laser rifle. Though Drive-By does get more use out of it because his laser rifle is spark, so that it's much better against escaping opponents. But the fact is that Deadheat gets a speed boost when he slows someone down too, so he's going to have a much easier time catching up to him. If you're ever having problems killing Swagger, you've definitely come to the right place, because Deadheat in every way is designed to destroy him, and just being able to lock him down is just one of many of Deadheat's tricks that he has for him. Also, this is my primary weapon for range, not just for the great shield damage it has, but it generates more S-Tech points than any of your other weapons. Though, you know, it's not designed to do much against Spark, you may want to consider using it just for the sustained damage and the S-Tech gain from it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the Blaster Rifle. Think of this as a crappier version of Conduit's gun, but each shot is going to heal you. Now, if you spec an all Omni damage like I do, the weapon is going to be doing better damage than Conduits. Well, I mean, I hope there aren't that many Conduits out there actually speccing into Omni damage. The S-Tech on this weapon, though, is where it's pretty much at. It's going to heal for a great amount at level 2 S-Tech from any distance for yourself, and it will heal any allies for the same as long as they're close to the target that you hit with this. So keep that in mind when you're firing this. If you have any allies near your target, they're going to get a big heal from it too. Just keep in mind that this is also very useless against certain Autobots, specifically ones that have absorb shields, such as Showdown and Overclock, and you'll get no healing at all from it when you hit that, because it's going to heal you based on the damage dealt. So, you know, again, it's pretty weak against anyone with damage reduction too, such as Meltdown, Double Take, and probably even Macro. So, and don't even think about trying to use it against Frontline or Triage or Macro, because you're just going to miss with it, and you're just going to waste your whole S-Tech and you're not going to get healed at all. So, overall though, really good heal, just you have to plan it right. So, number 3, we got the Enigma Arm Blades. His Arm Blades are pretty much going to be your primary DPS Omni weapon. Each hit of these is going to refresh a debuff on your target, which makes them take, well, it used to be double damage from your Jumpstart ability, but now it's 75% increased damage. Yeah, I know, they nerfed it. So The S-Tech is pretty straightforward. It's going to do AoE burst damage and apply the same debuff to multiple targets. In most cases, it's preferable to save your S-Tech points for this because the damage can easily take someone down fairly quickly. But all of Deadheat's S-Tech has their uses, and you need to strategize accordingly and ask yourself, do I need to slow my target and gain an extra speed boost, or do I need to heal? Does my teammate near my target need healing as well? Or do I need to save these points up to take this target down quickly? As you'll be able to do that with the arm blades. These are all things you need to take into consideration, but I mainly focus on the later option, and is taking down my target as priority for the reason alone, his subsystem. Let me show you that real quick before I jump into the equipment. So this subsystem is going to charge your S-Tech gauge up to level 2 immediately if you receive a kill. This only works against other players, and assists do not count. So the best way to set this up is with the S-Tech on your arm blades. So even if you think you can survive long enough to kill one target, but you might be close to death if you're kind of receiving focus fire, once you get that kill, it's going to give you the boost to a level 2 S-Tech charge right away, giving you the ability to use your level 2 S-Tech from your blaster rifle to heal you for a good chunk, allowing you to escape alive, or you can continue the fight. I mean, if you're not in danger of dying, just think of the amount of DPS that you can do with multiple level 2 S-Techs from your arm blades. It can be pretty devastating. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to his equipment. And his number 4, we have Jumpstart. So you should try using this ability when in melee range and while using your arm blades. This is really the only time you're going to be using this. You're not going to get near as much benefit even if you're close range and you got your rifle out or whatnot. I wouldn't recommend it. Always have your arm blades out and smacking people in the face with them while you got this going. Because this is going to deal rapid Omni damage and AoE around Deadheat and any target affected by your exposed circuitry debuff from your arm blades. They're going to take 75% more damage from the AoE. With the most recent patch too, this ability kind of lost its overall damage by additional, I think it was 13%, but it's still fairly good AoE to add to your burst damage. I haven't hardly noticed much of a change. People crying about him being nerfed, but still very effective with him. So make sure when you're using this in a group, because when you're using this in a group, the S-Tech and the arm blades is going to apply the exposed circuitry debuff to all the enemies hit, so they all take increased damage from the AoE. Let's move on to the Spike Strip Armor. This is good stuff right here. This is going to reduce incoming damage by 65%, and this is also going to deal spark damage back on any melee attacker that are hitting you. This is going to tear apart Swagger, as it's his primary way of finishing people off. So yeah, it's even better we can time this appropriately to when you think Swagger is just about to break stealth with his burst damage. And it'll be a pretty epic fail if you armor up right before that blast, but it's going to take a little bit of luck. Honestly, I wouldn't count on saving this for melee attackers for that extra spark damage, as it's just a little bit extra DPS, but this is primarily used when you're receiving focus, as you're going to take a crap load less damage with this thing up, and you're going to be in the middle of the fire. Yeah, swing your arm blades around, you're going to be right in the firefight, and people are going to end up focusing you, so count on it. That's why I try to spec him kind of tanky. We're going to move on to Escape Computer here, and I'll explain that. Now, this is a very useful piece of equipment. Activating this is going to break all slow immobilizations, knockdowns, disorientations, stuns, and make you immune to them for the duration. And it's going to increase your movement speed by 25%, plus an additional 25% per nearby enemy around you, which gives you the potential of 100% movement speed increase. I mostly use it for escaping and or breaking out of one of the movement impairment effects, but I also do like to use it for chasing targets down that try to run. If you're fortunate to have other enemies around during the activation, you're going to instantly be running at pretty much turbo boost speed. So I recommend using the S-Tech on your laser rifle to give yourself another movement speed increase and slow your target while you're using this, and you'll be easily able to catch them driving away while you're on foot, still maintaining close range with your arm blades. In most cases, I've actually been able to get in front of their vehicle that I'm running so fast, and I'm actually able to kind of body block them to slow them down a bit. Unfortunately, the laser rifle S-Tech movement speed increase will dissipate when switching to vehicle form, so will the escape computer. So keep that in mind. Any of your speed buffs that you have on you from the rifle or your escape computer, you're going to lose those as soon as you go into vehicle form. Which brings me to his vehicle form. Okay, we got his RPM rockets. Well, these are shield-based damage, which I'm not too fond of because it's rare that you're having to chase someone down that has any shields left. Nonetheless, it's a good shield damage if they do have shields up. Otherwise, it's a pretty horrible weapon to try to pursue someone with, and it's very slow on the shots too. But the range spoilers, this is a very good equipment. It's pretty damn awesome. It's going to put a lengthy 75% mischance shield on you. This only adds to the pain in the ass of how good of an escape artist Deadheat is. I recommend jumping into the fight, take your target down, use the escape computer to get out of there if necessary, just kind of line of sight them, and as soon as you go into vehicle mode, pop number 4, and you're going to be missing a whole bunch of damage trying to come at you for people trying to catch you escaping. So yeah, and yeah, he's got a pretty sweet car, so loving the Deadheat. Alright, we're gonna move on to his tuning. Yeah, I think we covered everything here, so let's go ahead and move on to his tuning. Alright, for his cores, I have the Critical Assaulter. This is highly ideal for an increase in your burst damage, as it's going to go off really quick. As soon as you jump into the fight, you're bound to be taking a critical hit within seconds. The damage reinforcer, I found this to be useful as you don't want to be a squishy target since you're primarily melee DPS. This stacked up with your spike strip armor, it's going to give you a huge amount of damage reduction for a short duration, but every little bit counts. Okay, moving on to the upgraded Destruction Cooler. This is an absolute must. If you want to mess around with cores, fine, but leave this one alone. Deadheat already gains a huge benefit from his subsystem for getting kills, so on top of taking a target down and gaining an instant S-Tech level 2, you're going to be getting an instant jump start out of this core, and your spike strip armor shortly after. This has allowed me to take down multiple targets one after the other due to the refreshing of my burst damage and the extra damage reduction to kind of keep myself in the fight. So don't hesitate to use your big heal from your blaster rifle either to get your health back up, because Deadheat becomes a very frightening target when an opponent just witnessed him use his whole arsenal against his teammate, quickly destroying him, and then suddenly having his health pull back up, swinging with all of his cooldowns ready to use again. He becomes very, very frightening at that point. Lastly, I have the Damage Articulator. So I've really been on the fence here between two different cores, so feel free to experiment and adjust to your playstyle. I'm currently using the Damage Articulator because the 40% speed increase is absolutely huge when it's stacked with all of your other speed buffs. And above all else, it does work in vehicle form, so it's going to add more survival and escaping. It's also very useful for catching your opponents too, and keeping yourself in melee range without having to use your weapon 1 S-Tech or wasting your jump start. The only other alternative which I also really liked was the Immobilization Core. With that core, Deadheat becomes an entirely destructive lockdown machine, With the slow slash speed boost from his laser rifle and adding immobilization capabilities into that equation, good luck escaping Deadheat, because you're going to need a lot of it. My only issue with this is the fact that you'll have to focus on using your laser rifle, which is a shield damage, just to keep the slow on them and effectively build up your S-Tac. Until the mobilization wears off. Now, if you have a friend assisting you, the target is pretty much good as dead. I highly recommend picking it up if you have any issues at all catching swagger or any kind of runner, really. But this is definitely a swagger killer right here, is using the immobilization core along with your rifle to slow him down and immobilize him. So yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you kind of have to ask yourself, do I want to play the role of locking an enemy down, or would I rather have more versatility in escaping and maintaining my melee range on my target? So that's something you might want to ask yourself. As for his tuning, I have the 5 into speed, obviously, and resistance for that extra damage reduction, being in the middle of the fight all the time, and the rest into omni damage, so he can just blast people in the face. What else can I say about that? I didn't put any in his shields. You know, I never mess with spark strength. I don't know anyone that actually uses that. I just don't see a benefit out of gaining extra spark, but who knows? Maybe some people out there do it. The reason I don't put in the shields for him is his healing isn't that consistent, and you know, I usually like to have high shields on characters that have a very more reliable way of healing themselves, and his heal from his blaster rifle can miss, and the base heal you get off of just the regular shots from the blaster rifle aren't a whole lot. I wouldn't count on that on keeping you alive, that's for sure. You know, he's got a decent health pool as it is, but I kind of focus on damage reduction for him. That way, you know, even with kind of lower shields and health pool overall, using the blaster rifle heal is going to heal you to full if you can hit multiple targets with that, and it's great being low in health and having yourself up to full right away. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So why don't we go ahead and hop into a game and check him out in action. Let's do it. Alright, we got a game going. This is a pre-made of mine versus a pre-made on the Autobot side. Those are some good players over there, so let's see how this thing goes. Waiting for Octoon. Octoon! Okay. Waiting. Still waiting. Okay. Yeah, we're rolling with the freshly new Decepticon Firebreaker on the team here, and we got Mismatch, Conduit, and myself as Deadheat. This should be good. Looks like a very good team composition. Let's see how it goes.
Never show weakness, Decepticons.
Where's the Autobots? There we go. All hiding out. So we're just going to chip away at their shields from distance with the laser rifle. See, he's really low over here. That's usually when I like to come in and take him out. He's dead. Okay, now we got to deal with the new Autobot here, Macro, and it's kind of a pain for Deadheat. But he can jump right in that bubble and start doing some pretty good AoE damage. Kind of disrupt their plans. Alright, let's see, let's get him. Yeah, Macro can cloak when in vehicle form also, so he's kind of a pain to kill sometimes, but he doesn't have any kind of self-heals, so he's not very good at staying alive if he doesn't have a healer. He's gonna go down pretty quick. I mean, he can be pretty tanky, but it's not tanky enough without a healer. We're gonna work on the healer here, beating him down. Got my number 4 activated there. Let's try to beat him down some more. Nope. No, he's not gonna escape. I don't think so. Okay, got him. Beat him down with the arm blades. Now look at that movement speed. That's only a fraction of how fast I can really run on Deadheat. Okay, this guy's just barely any spark left. Now see how fast Deadheat can take shields away like that? It's pretty devastating. Yeah, he's got really good shield damage. You don't even need to put points into shield for that reason. Alright. Yep, there we go. As you can see, that just boosted my S-Tech level up to level 2, getting that kill. And I have a fully charged S-Tech gauge. And we'll be using it as for his arm blades. As you can see, the damage on the blaster rifle, it's pretty small. It's not a whole lot of damage, but it can sometimes be okay for chasing people down that are down to spark. I'm going to load here, so just use number 2 there to heal myself up. I do have a healer, which is good. I'll try to beat Catapult down. Oh, she's quick. Octoon! Okay, take a little bit of damage here. I want to back up a little bit. Pick away those shields. The laser rifle. Switch to the blaster rifle. Probably get out of here a little bit. You see I popped number 4 there, so it really puts on a huge miss chance on me when I'm driving away. Okay, getting kind of low. I'm gonna try to take her out first. Oh, it's okay, I got a healer. Finish her. Nope. Maybe we can sneak around here and catch him. Got you, got you. Okay, Grimbo's got her. Okay, so it looks like they lost a player. You can see the buff highlighted on them, but they did in the most recent patch, I think, severely buffed it up. So when you're down a player now and you get that buff increase, it's now going to increase your damage as well as your overall hit point pool. Arm blades, number 5 here. So you can see all that damage that's coming out of me. You know, that's from my number 4, and he's doing melee damage to me, and I'm getting a little too cocky here, and that's what happens. Yeah, as you can see, Macro, he was near death, and I just kind of sat in that mischance field, I guess. I think he was kind of using that in conjunction with the mischance from his rifle, too. So I wasn't able to hit him at all. Let's get back in the fight here. Let's do some arm blade damage. Where are you going? Try to assist my team here. Oh, he's still running, huh? See if we can catch him. Yeah, sometimes jumping into people like that doesn't always work out the way you plan it to. Alright, we got that S-Tech up to level 2 with that kill. Probably use the Arm Blade, S-Tech, finish her off. There we go. Just like that. And right away I got another level 2 S-Tech. Put my armor. Just tears Catapult up. Yeah, Catapult is definitely my favorite kill on Deadheat. He will destroy her. He's pretty damn good against Swagger too. Double take could be kind of an issue. Double take can be pretty difficult to deal with on my own, especially when he's got that shield up. It kind of ruins all my plans for my burst damage. Okay, Catapult is eating away my spark. Yeah, I mean that's the only time. Oh my god! Oh shit! Well, yeah, that's the only time Catapult is really effective against me is if I'm not paying attention to her, because she can just whittle me down to 0 from my spark health pool if I'm not careful. All right, 12 to 7 here. No more deaths. Come on, let's get with the program, guts. Hold on, my team here. Alright, Catapult. Time for some revenge. I missed that, but whatever. She's dead anyways. And there goes Macro disappearing. Yeah, see, when I see Double Take with his shield up, I usually try to just leave him alone. That shield's gonna wear off quicker if you stop hitting him. Finish him off there, get the level 2 S-Tech up again. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. Now look at this speed. Look at that speed. I mean, that's almost twice as fast as Turbo Boost, it seems like. And you're on foot. Pop my miss chance there. Kinda let them target someone else so I can escape here. Is she trying to follow me? Yeah, I think she's trying to secure the kill. Not gonna happen. Alright, well, Double Take's got a shield up. He's only here by himself, so let's take him down. And he got away. It's okay, when there's all this action going on around me, I'm not gonna abandon my team and go chase someone down. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to assist my team on whatever target they're on. Try to slow them up here. Again, a moment like that is kind of where I wish I had the immobilization core. But I like the speed boost. Macro again with his millions missed chances. He's a pain in the ass, but I got him. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna eventually die. If there's no healer around, there's not much he can do. We got some pretty bomb-ass healing ourselves. 17 to 10 right now. 3 more kills to go. Try to slow him, maybe. Teammate died. Alright, let's tear it up. Let's tear it up. Yep, you don't want to be in my face. Yeah, we got the right idea. Usually, what you want to do with Deadheat is if he's up in your face, you should probably just run. It's going to be your best bet. Like that. Showdown, I don't worry too much about his DPS. I don't really try to focus him. Pick away at me. And there goes our speed boost again. We're out of there. Love that speed. Okay, one more kill to go. Is this going to be it? Let's burst him down. No, he's going to run. Oh, someone else got the kill. Well, again, pretty quick game. No, that was actually a very, very fun match. That was good. I mean, they had a good chance, but I guess they lost a teammate. They did get that buff on them, which was good, but yeah, good match. Alright, that's going to do it for today's game. I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And stay tuned for more future coverage from me for Transformers Universe. Good night, everybody. GG.